Ladies and gentlemen, since the pandemic, things have not been going too well in many relationships, not just here in the US, but worldwide. People are splitting up at record numbers, and they are blaming the coronavirus pandemic for this happening. And if you remember in the US, domestic violence in the very beginning of the lockdown was going through the roof. So, this problem is bigger than you can imagine. So, around the world, from South America to West Africa, previously happy couples are splitting up and many are divorcing. The stress of the pandemic is to blame, while others say it highlights old problems. One woman said she found out her husband had a girlfriend. Yeah, I bet you the side pieces are coming out now. And, she said she confronted him about it. And how did you get into my phone? That's all he was concerned about. Why did you get into his phone? So he wants a divorce. Another couple said they have split up, too many irreconcilable differences coming up. All right. So couples are, because they are forced to stay home around the world, many of us felt the strain on our relationships, juggling childcare, chores, and work, worrying about health, finances, and the state of the world. The global COVID crisis have left many of us also navigating domestic crisis of our own behind doors. Mm-mm-mm. The pandemic sparing nothing. The number of couples seeking relationship counsel has surged during the lockdown. Usually, most of my clients are individuals, said Dr. Rebecca Pender Baum, president of the International Association of Marriage and Family Counselors. Since the start of the lockdown, there have been a noticeable shift. The majority of inquiries have been coming from couples. Dr. Mamie Newman, and this person is in Florida. They're a psychotherapist, saying that after the initial dip in the first few weeks of lockdown, she too saw a flood of requests from couples. The biggest thing I hear is about couples arguing about the new division of labor in their house. She said people are trying to work and also take care of children. Everything has been thrown into chaos. This was the first. And, they said, you know what it is? These people are spending time around the clock with each other, and they're really not used to doing that. Most people are used to going to work. Wife will have a job, husband will have a job, kids will go off to school. So they have that time where they're not together. Now you're putting them in the situation with the lockdown, and they're spending more time together. And because they're spending more time together, they're starting to fight more. And they said the things they're fighting over are unimportant things. Lockdown was very strict. We could not leave the house, not even to get some air. And I think at first I didn't accept all this rigor. A survey by the UK charity Relate in April found that nearly a quarter of people felt lockdown had placed additional pressure on their relationship. A similar proportion had also been found in other parts of the world, and women are reporting this more than men. The lockdown created a make or break environment, the charity says, with people having relationship realizations, both good and bad. A further survey by the charity in July found that 8% of the people said lockdown had made them realize they needed to end their relationship, but 43% said it had brought them closer. Many of these cases were magnified, that the existing dramatic in a relationship, the drama and everything. So I don't know. It almost like these folks could survive as long as they didn't have to spend every waking moment with each other. But now that they have to, yeah, it's not a good situation for everybody. So she has been counseling couples over Zoom, sometimes from their garden shed or a parked car, to gain some privacy from the family alone. The pandemic has caused stress for everybody. There's a collective trauma, she said, but couples that were strong beforehand or even stronger, they already knew how to use their relationship as a resource at the time of stress. Couples who have been worse affected by those, their problems actually got worse. So, people that were hanging on by a thread, it got worse for them in their relationships. The lockdown lifted the veil on truth about marriages. She said she would normally have been busy, too busy to notice her husband's cold and unusual behavior, which led her to check his phone, and she found out he had a side chick. But despite the discovery of his infidelity, divorce is simply not an option. I would call my parents and cry. But my parents are Christians. They don't believe in divorce or separation. They told me to stay there no matter what your husband does. Do I love him? I'm not sure anymore. I'm just hoping he doesn't speak to her anymore. He's talking about the other woman. Okay, but I'm glad I found out. It gave me peace of mind that his harsh behavior was not my fault. Divorce lawyers in the UK and US have reported the inquiries are significantly up. One Washington, D.C. law firm reported a 70% increase in calls in October compared to October 2019. So, early figures also came out for divorce in Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, and China, which also suggests a rise in official divorce applications. The University of Virginia sociology professor Brad Cox warned against a jump to conclusions about the universal spike. Data that we have from our 4 out of 5 states report divorce in real time. Arizona, Florida, Missouri, Rhode Island, and Oregon indicate that divorce is up. No doubt. This has been, a problem since the lockdowns. But based on the trends seen in previous times, turmoil like the global recession 10 years ago, Wilcox anticipates that many people will hesitate about making permanent life changes while other aspects of their life are unstable. So, it is a rough time. You know, I think if you're not working and you're around each other, and, especially people that once were able to take care of their families, now since they lost their job during the pandemic, it's hard to find another job. And just looking at the financial stress that's being added just by default into many of these relationships, it's tough. It's tough out here. And a lot of times people can't overcome those financial issues and they will split up. I've known several people that split up over money. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.